Hi everyone, my name is Mary Beth. Welcome to my channel. I have Mac here. Want to say hi, Mac? Want to say hi? Mac's hanging out with me. This is a Shih Tzu poodle. Want to say hi, Mac? Want to say hello? So anyway, we're gonna do the divine masculine and divine feminine energies for this week. Gosh, I think it's February 8th. So February 8th through February 15th, and this is what we're going to work on. Okay, we're going to go for a walk soon, Mac. Okay, so we decide to ask these types of questions. So we're going to do we're going to do divine masculine energies, and we're going to do divine feminine energies, and we're going to ask, how does the divine masculine view the connection, and then the DF. What is in the DM and the DF's head space? What is in their heart space? How does the DM feel about DF and vice versa? What does the DM want right now in general? And same with the DF. What does the DM want with his DF and vice versa? What is the biggest challenge right now? What does the DM want you to know, want the DF to know, and vice versa? And what does the divine want them to know? Okay. So that's how I did it. And then at the end, I kind of went into the whole inner divine feminine, inner divine masculine to see if there was anything out of balance. And I really found a lot of balance there. So not really much to go over there. So that's really awesome. Okay, so let's start the reading. And before we start, I just wanted to tell you that I'm doing a series now on how to take your life back. So for a lot of you, if you're getting frustrated, if you're feeling any kind of suffering, or you're feeling kind of, oh, like when is this ever going to happen? So I decided to do the series on how to take your life back. So I'm going to do a bunch of those, and get everybody feeling more empowered. And because I get it, I totally get how you feel. Okay, so let's start. Let me put this on. Okay, cool. Let's do it that way. All right, so we're going to start with the DM. All right. So, and again, the divine masculine does not have to be male. Okay, because 40% of divine masculine are female. Okay, so how does the DM view the connection? So we got Nine of Swords. So right now it looks like a lot of the DMs are feeling a little bit anxious. They feel like perhaps they have sabotaged this connection. They are maybe up at night worried about this connection. So the DMs, how they're viewing the connection is that they're a little worried about it. Okay, so that is how they're viewing the connection. How is the DF viewing? And then the DF is saying, like, let's make some movement here. Let's make some choices and decisions. She's or he, the DF is looking at this as, it's time to, get some movement going, time to make a choice, time to make a decision. Also, for some of you, the DF might be saying, what decisions or choices, should I make, like what movement should I make? What should I do? There's so many choices here. Which door should I take? Should I take door number 1, door number 2, door number 3 when it comes to this connection? Okay. So some of you might be kind of confused as to which way to go, which direction to take. And so that's how you kind of view the connection. You want to make a movement and you want to make a choice, or you're trying to make a decision on this connection, but you're not quite sure which way to go at this time. Okay. And what is in the headspace? So if we look at the divine masculine, what's in the headspace is that they're feeling very nurturing towards their DM. So in their headspace, they feel like, I don't know, this is what they're worried about. Right now they're kind of worried about how things went down. They're kind of worried about how the past went. They're up at night. They're worried. They really don't like what they did in the past, and so they're feeling very nurturing in their headspace. They're feeling very nurturing towards their divine feminine. For some of the DMs, maybe they're also starting to be more nurturing towards themselves as well. The divine feminine side in the headspace, some of you are suffering in silence. So some of you are feeling kind of isolated. Some of you are wondering, what the heck's going on. So in the headspace with the DF, some of you are suffering in silence, which kind of matches what's going on. So you're kind of mirroring the DM because this is also kind of a suffering card as well, just kind of up at night, worried, anxious. So kind of a mirroring there. Okay, in the heart space with the divine masculine. So we got karma review or judgment card upside down, and that was clarified by the clock. And so what this is saying is, so this is about some kind of inner rebirth. This has to do with karma review, just kind of like looking back at what needs to be healed. This could be healing the inner child. So in their heart space, they're saying that they need a little more time because they are still healing their inner child. They're still going through this rebirth, and so in their heart space, they're just feeling like they just need more time to heal. That's basically what this is saying. In the DF's heart space, basically in her heart, she's tired of the waiting game. She's tired of all the waiting. Um, yeah, that's what I'm getting here with this heart space. That's why she's suffering in silence. She's tired of the waiting. Okay. Okay, and then let's look at what does the DM feel? I'm sorry, how does the DM feel about the DF? Well, he feels like he's starting to, I'm sorry, they feel like, it's not a he, they feel like they're starting to equal out. They feel like they're getting to the point where they are equal to their divine feminine. They're finally, because this was not reversed, this was in the upright. So they're starting to feel like they're equal. Before they didn't feel like they were good enough, but now they feel like they're starting to become more like in alignment with their DF, which is awesome. And then what about the feminine? How does she feel or they feel? So they feel like they want success and victory. That's what they want. They want success and victory. Um, that is how they feel about their divine counterpart. They feel like they want this victory. They want this success with them. Okay. All right, and then what does the divine masculine want right now in general? Okay, well, they want a second chance. That's what they want. This is the Wheel of Fortune upside down. Um, they want a second chance. They know that this is their destiny. They know this is an opportunity. They know this was a missed opportunity. They're very well aware that this was a missed opportunity. They want a second chance. That's what they want. All right. What about the divine feminine? Well, patience upside down. Well, they don't want to be patient anymore. They've been patient. The divine feminine said, I'm being patient. I'm balancing myself out. Yeah, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. I'm working on myself. And yeah, what they're feeling, what they want what they want right now. What am I up to? What does the DM want? What am I up to here? They want a second chance. Yeah, they don't want to wait anymore. The DFs don't want to wait anymore. That's what this is. um, they're willing to make the sacrifice, but they're getting tired of it. I just want to make sure what question I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So the next one is, what does the DM want with his DF? Well, he wants a long-term commitment. This is the 7 of Pentacles. He's looking at the long term. So this card says reevaluation, but see the roots here? Like he wants, or the DM wants something that is like secure, stable, where like the foundation's really, really good, like the roots have set in. They're looking for the long term. They're not looking for short term anything. They don't want any more in and out. They have reevaluated everything, and now they want a firm foundation. They want a commitment. This is for the long term. that is what they want. And then for the DF, well, let's see, you got Hierophant. So this is the wisdom card. Okay. I feel like what this means is, so this is usually spiritual advisement. And then also the not today card, hurt, avoiding a conversation, boundaries, still angry. Okay. So with the DF, it feels like what the DF wants is to, I guess, get some spiritual advisement on this connection because they're tired of the whole like avoiding conversation, like they're just tired of it, like it's always not today, and they're kind of tired, like they're suffering in silence. It's like they're suffering in silence. They're tired of the waiting game. They're tired of being patient. They feel like they may want some spiritual advisement on this, and they really want their divine masculine to step up spiritually as well, as what I'm hearing. They want, because they feel like they've been doing this. The divine feminine has been really stepping up spiritually. They want their divine masculine to step up spiritually, and they're tired of the whole avoiding a conversation. They're kind of tired of it. Okay. All right. The next one is, what is the divine masculine's biggest challenge right now? So we got concrete ideas. So this is Page of Pentacles followed by, well, I got it clarified by the runner. So what this tells me is the biggest challenge is for, so you see how to get this pen and paper? The biggest challenge for the divine masculine right now is to, first of all, put pen to paper or finger to text or whatever to, make that, to create that message. It's a big challenge for them to create that message. And their biggest challenge is to stop running. They just, yeah, they're so like fearful. They're so fearful of this. So this is their biggest challenge, is putting pen to paper and letting their divine feminine, how they feel. They got to get focused. They got to have a concrete idea on where to go. So, I mean, they obviously want this. They really want this long term. They know this is a missed opportunity. They really want to have a second chance with their divine feminine, and they're even starting to feel like they're good enough. They're even starting to feel like they're equal. But at the same time, they're asking for more time because I feel like they're still healing their inner child. So what this tells me is a lot of them have had past that have to do with anything to do with trauma. There's some been traumatic, which makes sense because all twin flames on this journey has probably had some kind of karma and some kind of bloodline trauma, because that's what we're here for. We're here to heal the collective. And by doing that, we are the ones who are transmuting all the past pain and wounds. And so that's why we've had kind of the hardest traumas as children. So they're still healing their inner child, is what's happening here. And so they want a long term commitment, but their biggest challenge right now is to reach out to their divine feminine. And it's not like they're running anymore, and it's not like they have a fear of like that. It's just like they just feel like they need to work on themselves a little bit longer, is what I'm getting. They're just needing to work on themselves a little. They really want this, and in order to give you this, they have to work on themselves a little bit more. They don't want to come into the relationship shaky. They really want to put down roots with you. They honestly do not want to come into this relationship shaky at all. They want to make sure they're perfect. They want to make sure everything's perfect, like that they're good, that they're healed. Okay, and the DF's biggest challenge is balance. This is the Justice card. So what I get from this is balancing the divine feminine. So the divine feminine needs to make sure that, first of all, their own divine feminine and own divine masculine energies are balanced. That's their biggest challenge. And to make sure that they feel whole, to know that this is a contract, okay? To know not to, to do everything that they're doing, they're sacrificing, right? They're waiting, they're being patient, they're really working on themselves. They know that this is a contract. They know this is a very tough contract. They know that this is the hardest thing they've ever done. And so the biggest challenge is balancing themselves out so that they feel whole on their own without their DM, but in a loving, compassionate way. Okay. And then what does your divine masculine want you to know? Okay. So what they want you to know is that you are their wish fulfillment. And they are constantly thinking about you. They want you to know that they cannot get you off their minds. It's almost like obsessive, which doesn't surprise me because of the first card we got. They are like up all night. They're very anxious about this connection. They keep thinking about it. You are their wish fulfillment, and they honestly cannot stop thinking about you. All right. And what does the DF want the DM to know? Well, what they want them to know is they want a new beginning, and they want this to start, and they want a commitment. The divine feminine wants the divine masculine to know that they want a commitment, and they want this new beginning, and that it's not happening fast enough. They are, yeah. And this is reversed. So I almost feel like some of you are saying that, they want, I don't know, like this is reversed as well. So I don't know if this means some of you are starting to fade away. Like maybe some of you are starting to give up on this new, maybe some of you are saying, and not all of you, maybe some of you are telling your divine masculines that you're starting to give up on this new beginning and starting to give up on this commitment. But some of you are definitely wanting to say that you want this, okay? And then what does the divine want the divine masculine to know? Well, they want them to keep they want them to keep transforming. So they got the Page of Wands reversed, clarified by the Lightning card. Okay, so the Page of the Page of Wands, they want them to take this risk. They want them to take this chance. They want them to make this bold move because it's all about passion. They want them to feel excited about it, about this whole transformation. So the DM's going, so what the divine is asking the divine masculine to do is to like be bold, take a chance, take a risk on themselves and really take on this huge transformation. And they know this is a sudden change and a big upheaval. This is almost like the Tower card, honestly. Like they're really just kind of it's kind of an upheaval where they're shedding like all their past pains. They're shedding their inner child. They're healing their inner child. They're healing all their past wounds, and they're letting it go, and they're letting it fall and clear away so that something better and new. They're letting go of their old selves. And so the divine wants to let them know to be bold and keep doing that. Keep doing what they're doing and keep transforming. Keep going through this transformation. And what the divine wants the divine feminine to know, so they got Three of Pentacles reversed with the Mirror reversed. So what this is saying is keep working on your own self. So keep working on your own pentacles. Keep working on your own mission. And recognize like how far you've come. Like take a bow, like already. Like feel like know how far you've come, and like reap your rewards that you have already. I mean, you're already balancing. You've already shown that you have patience. Like you have already done so much work. But the divine also wants to let you know that you are mirroring each other, and they're really just reflecting back to you what is a deficit in you. And so the deficit that I'm seeing is possibly the fact that maybe there's certain things that are not healed within the divine feminine. And that way, the divine feminine maybe also might have some inner child work to do, and that is mirrored in the divine masculine. And also the fact that it looks like they are starting to feel equal, but at the same time, the divine masculine, the fact that he even has to feel like, oh, am I equal enough, is kind of concerning. So perhaps still keep working on feeling whole on your own. And the more the divine feminine does that, the more the divine masculine feels whole and good enough for the relationship. But this is the divine is asking the divine feminine to know that everything that's going on. So, let's just say you say, oh, the converse, let's say it has to do with communication. Oh, I'm triggered by the fact that my divine masculine is not communicating with me. Well, then you have to like mirror that back to yourself and say, well, I am not doing this for myself. I'm not conversing enough for myself. Like I'm not, maybe it's actually maybe not maybe you, maybe it's the divine. Maybe I'm not conversing enough with my soul. Maybe I'm not conversing enough with spirit. Whatever it is, maybe I'm not going within enough for my own wholeness or whatever it is, just, I mean, you know what it is. It's a mirroring because it's you in another body. But they really want you to know like how far you've come, to really recognize how far you've come. But this is the Three of Pentacles reversed. And so they're asking you to really work on yourself. They're asking you to really work on your mission. They're asking you to really work on the way I see it is getting out of the matrix. Keep going. You're doing really well. But I did pull some cards to see if you guys were out of balance, where the out of balance is in your own divine feminine and your own divine masculine energies. But what I found was that you guys are really balanced. So with your spiritual feminine side, your inner, you are using your intuition, which means you're not overthinking, and you are not being overly needy. You're really being balanced in your spiritual feminine. You are also being balanced in your earthly feminine, which means you're being patient. You're being patient. You're not, like either, let's see, how do they word it here? Like you're not confused. You're not being rigid. For most of you, you're not fleeing. You're not confused. You're not being rigid. You're not being overly serious. You're not withholding love. Okay. You're being nurturing. You're being nurturing to yourself. You're being nurturing to your counterpart. And energetic. Again, how to be balanced. You're in surrender mode. You're allowing. You're being receptive. So yeah, you're all being very balanced in your inner divine feminine, divine masculine energies. The way I know this is because your spiritual masculine side came up as balanced as well, which means they want a commitment. They really want a commitment with you. So because you're so balanced in your spiritual feminine of using your own intuition, like being like intuitive instead of overthinking or scattered or being needy or fearful of being alone, your divine masculine now wants a commitment. And also, a lot of you are also going with the flow. You also have a lot of self love. You're loving yourselves. You're really doing the work. So, for either some of you, because this is a collective reading, for some of you, you're really, really, really balanced. Now, for some of you, I did get an excess of earthly masculine, and what that means is your earthly masculine side of you, which is being manifested in the third dimension, maybe being kind of rigid ideas, maybe being a little protective of themselves, which it does seem somewhat, with some of you, maybe that's why they're up at night. Maybe that's why they're anxious. Um, Maybe that's why they're overly obsessing. Maybe that's why they don't feel equal. And the only way that could happen is if on your side that maybe you feel maybe a little overly serious, a little cold, like maybe because I did the same thing, trust me, where I felt like the way I worded it was, oh, my divine masculine's not in my life because he's not here for my highest good right now. He's not here for he's not like a vibrational match right now, and so he's not here for my highest good, and I need to be by myself so I have no distractions so that I can work on myself. Well, what that was doing is it was putting me out of balance because then that was my way of not being nurturing towards my divine counterpart. I was not being nurturing. So now I was being overly serious. I was being overly dry, overly cold, withholding love. And what that did was it put my masculine side of me out of balance and made him more protective, more rigid, right? So not more forward going. Okay. And anyway, so I just want to tell you a quick story. So what's interesting is that that always gets mirrored back to me in another way. So what happened to me was the divine likes to show me, like really hold up a mirror to me as to like when I'm really out of balance in something. So I was going through kind of a period of, oh, I feel so like good being independent, and I was really doing well with that, like being really happy being independent. But at the same time, it was kind of at the expense of my own divine masculine side of me because I had this whole discourse of, not for my highest good right now. And what that was doing was putting that energy out there because, my divine masculine is me in another body. So in case some of you are doing the same thing, because I feel like some of you are silently suffering and some of you are like sick of waiting. And, some of you are like, I've been patient, what the heck? And, like you guys want success, right? So I feel like some of you are in the same place as me, and even though like you want this commitment and you want this to begin, like you want this beginning with them, also I feel like some of them are like starting to give up on it, like they're starting to give up on the beginning and maybe giving up on the commitment and thinking this is never going to happen. And so for you guys, I totally get it because I was kind of like, I'm good by myself and not really feeling nurturing towards my divine counterpart. It was more like, you know what, they're just not for my highest good and they are not, where I am, and I am going to work on myself and do this mission by myself and that sort of thing. And what happened was at work, because I work a full-time job, my boss actually shamed me. Actually, it was my boss's boss shamed me in front of my boss. And so I took it really badly and I didn't know what that was. And then I realized like what that was mirroring back to me. And the divine was telling me that because I was shaming my own divine masculine side of me in a way. And when I do that, I'm actually shaming myself because whatever I do to my divine counterpart, I'm doing to myself. Like whatever energy I put out towards my divine counterpart or whatever feeling or whatever like action or discourse, like I'm doing it back to me. And so that shame that I was putting on my own divine masculine side of me came back to me in such a way because it's just a matrix, right? It's just an illusion of that, of like feeling shame about work that I did, in my, real job, in my job, job. And so, but it took me like a few days to figure it out, to figure out what happened and why it happened. And so that's what the divine likes to do. They like to mirror back to me what I'm doing to my own divine masculine side of me. And I forget because we live in the 3D. I totally forget that it's a 5D relationship. That it's me, it's my counterpart it's me in a different body, and that when I think lesser of my own divine counterpart, if I get rigid or if I feel any kind of like, oh, I'm in a higher place or I'm doing better than them or they're just not ready, that type of thing, then I'm no longer nurturing. And I'm also doing it to myself. Like I'm not doing it to them, I'm doing it to me. Like that's the reality of it because it's the matrix. And so then it gets like 10 times back, the karma. So I wanted to share my story to maybe help some of you. I don't know if some of you have felt the same way or have gone through, but I feel like since I did pull this card of rigid ideas for your excess earthly masculine, and from what I see, and some of you are suffering in silence, that might be just know it's you. Okay. So just if you feel nurturing, because I think most of you are already doing this, you guys are so balanced. Like already you're loving yourself. And when you love yourself, you're actually loving your divine counterpart, and your divine counterpart is loving you because it's you. they have no choice, which is why they want this. That's why they want this long-term commitment with you. They feel it in the 3D, even though you're doing it in the 5D. I mean, they want commitment. That's how I know you're balanced. They know what this is. They're just healing their inner child. That's all. They're just healing their inner child is what I see. I even feel like you guys are feeling pretty whole on your own and that you are working on yourself. You just have to notice how far you've come. Like you have to recognize yourself with the work you've done. I mean, you guys are allowing, you're in the surrender mode. I mean, I mean, most of you are nurturing towards yourself, which is number one. You're nurturing towards yourself and you're nurturing towards your divine counterpart. You have a nurturing energy towards your divine counterpart. Like you're feeling nurturing, saying, I get it. You're still like you want this commitment with me, but you want this to be perfect. Like you want to be whole. You want your inner child because you don't want that mirrored back from me because they know that they're a twin flame. So they're thinking, if I get back in this relationship with you and I didn't heal my own inner child, you're only going to mirror this back to me and I'm going to be back to square one. So that's what they're doing. And they know this and you know this. So you're nurturing towards them saying, yeah, I get it. You want to feel whole before getting in this relationship with me. Otherwise, we're just going to mirror this back and forth to each other and it's going to feel almost like challenging. It's going to feel like for me it was numbing. That's just the word I use. It just felt numbing. Um, but yeah, you're all being so patient and you guys are using your intuition. So you guys are really really balanced. So yeah, you guys are doing really well. And I feel like the divine masculine is like I feel like there's been like a huge jump in just like I mean the fact that you guys are balanced just like every like week to week. I just feel like it's really going to happen soon. But again, we can't focus on that. We can't focus on union, because don't feel like, oh, some people got into physical union and I haven't. Don't I guarantee you, don't feel like left out and don't feel like you don't envy people who are in twin flame physical union. Don't envy them because it's not what you think. It's not easy and it's not always pleasant and it's not always like the best experience. It's a challenging experience. And so when you hear of someone in twin flame union, I think maybe the first week and maybe the first couple of weeks it's all wee. It's like oh, and then reality sets in. And so just know that the longer you wait and the more healed they are and the more healed you are, then yes, the more like when you're in twin flame physical union, the more balanced it will be and the more happier it will be and the more like this, like the roots would be very deep. Because if you go in too soon and they don't heal their inner child, if they don't heal their inner child and your inner child's not completely healed yet either, your roots won't be very deep and it'll just be in and out, in and out, in and out. Like there like there won't be any foundation. Like you have like with a twin flame physical union, you have to plant really, really deep roots for them to stay and for you to stay in physical union because otherwise the energy will repel due to the fact that there's too much inner work to be done, too much healing to be done, um, too much like unworthiness, whatever it is that's within us, which is fine. I mean, we're still deprogramming ourselves. We're not going to be perfect. We're never going to be 100%. This is a lifelong journey, but just enough, like at 60%, 70%, 80% balanced, feeling worthy, self love, to the point where, okay, if my divine counterpart leaves, I'm still good. That type of, because it's like a new paradigm, it's a new type of relationship. I think you all know. I think you've heard the spiel before, but just as a reminder. But this is what they want. So they want long term with you. So anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this reading, the DF and DM energies for this week. And please stay tuned. I'm going to try to do like a take back your life series. I think it's just going to help everyone to be more empowered. I do it for myself too, just to feel more empowered, to really realize what it means to be the divine feminine. And frankly, I don't suffer. I don't know about you, but I'm not like suffering. I think some of you are suffering. Unfortunately, there is some kind of suffering, and I did pull the suffering and silence card. Um, so, for those of you who feel like you are suffering in silence, I am doing a series called Take Back Your Life. And not only will it help you take back your life and to figure out what it means to be the divine feminine and what it means to take your power back and to really enjoy your life with or without your divine counterpart, because you realize it's within and you realize you're already integrated and you're already one. Because when you realize like nothing's been taken away from me and nothing's separate from me, and we've always been together, and plus you can feel them anyway. Are they really gone? No, like you feel them all day long. Like you feel their feelings. Like you feel them all the time. Like songs are hitting your brain. They're always talking to you. And so it's just one of those things where I'm going to keep doing readings to help you. So there's no more suffering in silence. I don't want anyone to suffer at all. But it really is just to help you out of the matrix, because you don't want to be in a codependent relationship. That's why the divine's doing it this way. They want to make sure you're not codependent in any sort of aspect before you get into twin flame union. They want to make sure you do not feel codependent, that you don't feel like, oh, why isn't he calling me? Or, oh, like, why isn't he committing to me? Like, they don't want that even in your brain when you're with them in the third dimensional physical union with your twin flame. They don't want any kind of codependence. They want you to feel whole on your own and you're good with or without them in the physical. Like you're fine. That's what they want. And so that's where I'm going to do my Take Back Your Life series. So I hope you enjoy that. Also, I want to thank all my new subscribers. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your support. I've been doing this channel for about a month now, and I'm really excited to see where this goes. And again, I'm on this journey with you, and so I'm going to help you as I channel, and I'm channeling for myself as well. And so, anyway, again, thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time. Oh, also, if you like this, please subscribe, please share. And if you're interested in a personal reading or life coaching or anything like that, I do teach about how to balance your inner divine feminine and inner divine masculine energies, which I think a lot of you are doing so well in. Then please email me below. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.